Hello YouTube, this is Christian Rö. This is just a small update and I'm going to talk about the Dmenu. So today I woke up and I spent a little time on the Swedish Quora. I was checking for some questions and just wasting some time. And this was this question from a guy that was asking about a good way to have a keyboard layout selector. I suggested using shell script, Dmenu, and setxkbmap. Mind that I haven't coded for many years, so I'm very rusty. So after this I decided that I would write this for myself, since even if I don't code anymore, I do hate coding with the Swedish keyboard layout. It's horrendous, it's horrible. Nothing is accessible for your fingers. So when I did code many years ago, I always used the American keyboard settings. Mind that I have forgotten everything. I'm not a coder by trade. I've forgotten everything I knew, but I still want to get into the habit of coding again, because for me it was a little like, laying puzzles or something. It was a good pastime. However, when working in IT, it destroyed that fun for me, so I stopped coding altogether. So that's that. Now, I wanted to do this in POSIX shell script. All the guides I've seen for this have been made in Bash, and frankly I prefer to have stuff written in strict language, because there's less prone to errors, and if it's working with POSIX compiled shell script, it can work on any system. If you're using just with a lot of Bash systems, it will only work for people using Bash. So I decided to do it like that, and I think I will start with explaining what Dmenu is and what it does. Dmenu is one of the Suckless programs, and we have the home page over here. I will put a link to it on the description. The Suckless project, it's well, there's some guys that like programming and they don't want to have bloated software, basically. So they have this philosophy on everything they release. Now Dmenu is used by many other projects. I think that the password manager is using Dmenu for having some kind of script that you can use Dmenu to pick up the latest password. You also have clipmenu-d, as you can see here in my configuration, my setxkbmap, unpronounceable. I have it actually over here, the clip menu script. Now the clip menu script is very useful for many reasons. For instance, if I want to copy this and I want to put it in my browser or anywhere else, if I copy it straight away, you can see that I will also get the line numbers with it, and that's nothing we want. But if I use the visual selector and I yank it, and I go over here, now if I use my short command for clipmenu-d, you can see that I can select my clipboard. I have defined it so I have 20 clips back. So if I choose this one and I choose to insert it here, now I don't have the numberings with me, and this is useful for many things. So I really like using clipmenu-d, and it's based on Dmenu as well. Now the basic usage of Dmenu, it actually does nothing more than just takes an input string that's delimited by new lines, and it gives you a selection on that string, and it sends you the result. So for instance, if I do an echo and I send some bananas and I pipe it to Dmenu, you can see that I get my bananas. I spelled it wrong, but you see I get my bananas over there. And if I select it, I get my bananas. Now, I just don't want bananas. I want bananas and new line apples and new line oranges. So now when I echo this and pipe it to Dmenu, I get a 3-line menu, as you can see. So now I can choose, you see in the top over here, I can use bananas, apples and oranges. So if I select my oranges, I get my oranges. If I select my apples, I get my apples, and so on and so forth. There's nothing more to it. And that is very usable when you're scripting something and you want to have a menu or selection from anything. Now, I used this, as I said, I wanted to do this with POS6 compiled shell script, which meant that I couldn't use arrays for this. So I was stuck with simple strings. So I also decided, well, then if I'm just avoiding that and make it more compatible with everything, I can try to avoid sed and awk as well, even if they're installed in every system. But I decided that I tried to evade them as myself. And my old brain remembered that you can actually trim a lot of stuff with printf in the C language. So I did a search and I found this page. That is Dylanarapas and his pure shell Bible. And here I found some functions that he's written. So it was a good shortcut for me, so it saved me a lot of time. So that's what we're doing here. So I created this function based on his page, and I also using command replacement to get the results into my variables, unless it wouldn't work. So if I don't do the command replacement for the function, I don't get the trimmed string into my trimmed variable. So when you're writing shell script, it's also very important to know that you can actually use the -x to step through your script to debug it. So we do a shell -x languages.sh. You can see that we're starting by creating our delimiter, that is a white space and a dash. We're defining our languages, that is SE, Swedish, new line, US, English, and nCancel. And here we're echoing it into Dmenu. So now we get our Dmenu over here. So if we choose US, it continues and it says that selected equals US English. We do this rtrim and it prints the US, assigns it to the trim, and we do the setxkbmap US. So now I have a sensible keyboard, which is perfect for coding. Now if I want to return to the Swedish keyboard, I run this again. I will make a short command for this, and I use Swedish. So as you can see here, my script is running. It says that I selected SE Swedish, and so on. And now I have my omelets again. Now this script is far from perfect. I can actually extend this with a lot of keyboard layouts. I can extend it with Russian, Spanish, whatever I want to use. But here I made a mistake that I'm using a case instead here, which means I have to write out every single case that I put in the languages variable. This can easily be evaded by doing something with test. You can do like this. But as I said, I'm very rusty, so I won't do it right now. I have to check out shell scripting and everything again. But I can actually use this test to see if my string is set to cancel. And then I won't need to do this case, and I can use just one place on my script where I just add or delete languages, and I don't need to add anything more in my case script. So that would be the sensible thing to do. So I think I will do it someday. So that's what I need to do here. Do a test statement, test if it's cancelled, and if it's not cancelled, I run this trimmed command and I trim the stuff. But that's an easy thing to do, so I won't do it right now. Well, I hope you guys find this useful. I hope that some of you would like to honor me with a like or a subscription, and comment something. If you find this useful, please tell me. It actually gives me more energy to keep on doing these videos. If you would like to know anything, if you want me to do explainer videos, for instance, how does the HTTP protocol work or something similar, please ask me. I'm happy to do a video about that. I have some interesting videos planned, but I'm doing them according to the time I have. Since I am self-employed, I have a lot to do. So, however, I'm wishing you everyone a very nice day. I hope you're having a splendid Easter, even though we have these horrible times that we are in. But, we'll all get stronger from this. So, I wish you a very fine day, and bye.